What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And, I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What's cracking, family? So, what is going on today? It's been a slow news day, actually, besides your normal crime, of course, but, let's see here. I looked up some stuff. It really wasn't nothing too cray-cray happening. Somebody left their small dog in a bag in Wisconsin, and it got scanned by the TSA. That crypto lawsuit that they had against Kim K and all those famous people is getting dismissed because they said that they weren't, pretty much it said federal judge in California Wednesday dismissed the lawsuit against reality TV star Kim Kardashian, Floyd Mayweather, and others enrolled promoting cryptocurrency, saying it was not clear that the investors who sued actually saw the promotions. The lawsuit filed in January claims executive schemes with celebrity promoters to induce investors to buy the EMAX token, driving up the price and allowing the seller tokens as profit. The judge in Los Angeles says investors may amend and refile their proposed class action. The decision comes as other celebrity promoters face lawsuits from users' failed cryptocurrency exchange. So they could possibly refile, but yeah. What else is going on? 2 men have been indicted for conspiracy and weapon charges in full attack last month against a New York synagogue. Nearly 600 electric emergency incidents and disturbances were caused by suspected and confirmed physical attacks and vandalism on the electric grid over the past 9 years, with 106 incidents between January and August 22. So they are definitely going to have to figure out how to secure that area. Just going through this and see if I want to go over all this. Some of this news is so repetitive. The biggest news is Britney okay? So I'm gonna play you a whole thing on that's been going around. That Britney, I mean, it's not funny, but Britney is missing or gone or whatever. A lot of people are actually like, this is on distractify.com, but Britney Spears' Instagram keeps disappearing. Is she actually missing? The saga of Britney Spears' Instagram account has been ongoing for what feels like a while now, and it has led some fans to worry about Britney missing or facing challenges again. Britney's accounts disappeared and reappeared in numerous times in months. Britney's latest disappearance has left many fans concerned about her overall well-being and her relationship with her husband, Sam Asghari. Is Britney missing? Here's what we know. We have no indication that Britney is missing or in any immediate danger, but the constant deletion and reintroduction of her Instagram account has understandably led some to concern. Which a lot of them do that when they releasing things, but we know like Britney has said some really odd behavior. So Britney's account disappeared most recently in late November after her husband posted on Instagram Live, in which Britney could be heard saying that she didn't want to be on camera, which is weird because she dances and is nude on all the time, so it's weird. So she said, I don't want to jump in, I have nothing to say. Britney said, as many fans tuned into the stream in the hopes of seeing her, I don't want to talk to them right now. Britney released an extended post on Instagram in which she explained her feelings about her father's conservatorship. Many Britney fans treated her release from conservatorship as a major victory, but may be expecting more from Britney when she's willing to give them the moment. I personally think Britney should have stayed in conservatorship because the girl, I know y'all love her, but she's dealing with some stuff. She needs to be medically supervised. I don't know as far as how her dad did it, but she needs y'all have to understand, some people, and I'm not saying it's drugs or whatever, but some people get a hold of some bad stuff and they are never the same. And I think that is for Britney and Kanye and several other, Amanda Bynes, like they completely go through these mental breakdowns and they don't recover. So why was Britney Spears' Instagram deleted? The removal of Britney's Instagram has left many confused about why her account is gone and whether she has control over it. There isn't an obvious reason for her account's disappearing. It's just certainly possible that Britney decided to delete it simply because she didn't want to use it as a platform anymore. She's well within her rights. Britney recently used her Instagram account to take aim at some of the tell-all documentaries about her that supposedly came from voices who were concerned about her well-being. Britney took a specific aim at her former assistant Felicia Coletta, who has appeared in several documentaries about Britney and has talked about her in the press. Referencing a specific incident, Felicia claims that Britney walked down the street handing $100 bills to people. Britney said that the story was a total fabrication. I wish I could go inside the heads of people like my dad and Felicia and really try to understand why people lie and make up such things like that. Britney said at the time, I mean, it doesn't get lower than that. Why would you say that? That's not even true. I mean, handing out $100 bills is not terrible news. Wasn't it already bad enough that they did it to me, and on top of it, everybody getting together and doing the trashiest docs I've ever seen in my life, saying it's to help me? I wonder what Whitney would say, because her family does the millions of movies, and I agree. I think Whitney would be the same way. Like, how many movies are you gonna make on me? Clearly, Britney was upset that people were just using their association with her to grab a small piece of fame for themselves. It's understandable concern. Even fans continue to worry about where Britney has gone following her Instagram exodus. Then her husband responded. He took to Instagram to address the fan theory that he controls the account. He said, I would never control someone that's been controlled for 13 years. So, I don't know. It's weird. The reason why, too, is that just, if you watch some of her dancing videos, it looks like she's behind a glass. And then, like, even on her birthday, like, she's not even, like, she's talking in the background, and Britney loves to be on camera. And like I said, the girl, in my opinion, is suffering from some kind of mental breakdown. And when you were like that, the same with Kanye, like, y'all, the people around them are not good for them. Let's look at what someone said about Britney still not being free. Let's see.
Baby, happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
Who the fuck is that? Because it ain't Britney. I, for one, think she has been gone since her honeymoon in Mexico. And I just now realized, the symbol for help when you're on video and can't say it is this, the fist. She makes that fist in her Mexico video where she's talking. She makes that fist. And that was the last video where anyone has ever seen her out and about or alive. So I think something is 100% wrong and people need to wake the hell up. I also tried to go back to see that video, like on her page. The account has been deactivated.
So this is not breaking news because, but a lot of people are always concerned about Britney's well-being and everything. And yeah, so let's get into another family, and that is the Dwayne Wade Gabrielle union. First, let's get into Corey Holcomb. He's talking about this whole debauchery of their son is transgender and wants to get the surgery and everything, and then the mom contested it. The real mom contested the whole thing, and Gabrielle Union, a lot of people think Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade are plotting on their kids' fame. Let's get into Corey Holcomb talking about this.
You a bust down from Hollywood. D Wade and you both made for each other, if you ask me. He get down in the streets, you get down in the streets. I know little Damon Wayans Jr. Man, Damon Wayans Jr. told me the funniest joke ever on the airplane about when D Wade was in LA and he smashed his girl. Damon Wayans Jr. was dating that girl. D Wade got pregnant out here. He went raw in her. And little Damon Wayans Jr. was telling me, he really saved my life.
Oh, man.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, yo, Gabrielle Union and D Wade, them freaks. But you don't put that off on no child and encourage him being no freak. What do you think that represents? Look at this boy. Look at her, first of all. That's a makeup face, by the way. That ain't how she really look. I ain't saying she ugly, but that ain't how she really look. Look at this little boy. Do you think this little boy should be allowed to parade around like that long as he ain't paying rent? That's how you do if you pay rent. If you pay rent, then you can do that. But if you allow a little boy to come into the ridicule game, as y'all have done, that picture is going to bring ridicule to that little boy. That is a little boy. And you got him thinking everything normal, and what's y'all problem? No.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that because I don't agree when they're young kids. They're kids. There's so much that there's. I don't agree when parents do this and they push it. It's like this kid, come on, man.
Somebody say Boosie looks sick. He might be sick.
Oh, bless his
Look,
soul.
let me tell you something, man. We all going through it. But Boosie is funny when he talk.
Always had that look, though.
And all Boosie said was, don't cut his dick off, man. That's all he said, man. Don't cut his dick off, man. Hey, man, Boosie is entertaining. That's what I will say about Boosie. Now, look, this is entertaining also to see. I mean, it's not good. It's not good at all. But it's funny. Look at that boy's face.
And she should know as an entertainer that the moment that you put anything out there,
look at her.
It's for people are gonna.
D Wade ain't even in the picture. He's like, I can't do it. I try to be with it. I don't tell people about the dick I get.
So first, let me say I do not condone this speech on this child because this is still a child at the end of the day. And unfortunately, look at what it's caused because you have grown people having actual conversations about this child's sexuality. And, as regular parents, you already try to shield your stuff, your kids away from a lot of things. And so it's sad. I feel bad for the Zaya Wade because, I am not like, however people choose to live their lifestyles, it's just like, but when you have these Hollywood parents and like, it's just so dangerous. I mean, look at Ted Cruz's daughter right now. His daughter tried to commit suicide, and when you have parents that have such a big platform and are attacked, and then the parents are kind of like, it's a definite I do not believe that children, most adults can. Look at Britney, who I just talked about, can handle that fame and criticism of their appearance, their sexuality. It's just a lot. And I feel like, they're putting a lot on Zaya Wade. I don't know. I mean, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, they're fully grown adults. They live their life out loud. She has written books about their sex life. She's not coy about it at all. But I think, like, sometimes when you have children, although you are famous, you do have to remember these are still just children, and mentally, like, although she can come out and attack everybody that tries to speak on her daughter, like, you'll be exhausted. And I just pray that Zaya Wade has thick skin. I really just am concerned for the child because, everybody's got these talking points. And like I said, Britney is a prime example of this kind of stuff happening. And it's sad. It's so sad to me. Let's get into what do I want to talk about? Let's talk about little Christian Walker, Herschel's son. After his dad lost the election, he went to Twitter to speak on that. Let's see what he says. Christian Walker, Herschel Walker's son, had this to say after his dad's loss. He said, "Don't compare Warnock running over his wife's foot to my father holding guns and knives to my mother's throat, threatening to kill his therapist, her, and one of his adulteresses in a therapy session, and telling my mom and I he was going to beat her if we don't get off my page. Don't beat women, hold guns to people's heads, fund abortions, then pretend you're pro-life. Stalk cheerleaders, leave your multiple minor children alone to chase more fame, lie, say stupid crap, and make a fool of your family. And then maybe you can win a Senate seat. Republicans, we say we don't play identity politics, and then you ran this man mainly because he was the same color as his opponent, with no background other than football. A boring old Republican could have won. The truth, Trump called my dad for months demanding that he run. Everyone with a brain begged him, please don't do this. This is too dirty. You have an insane past. Please don't do this. We got the middle finger. He ran. I was caught a backstabber after getting angry and blowing up from watching my dad lie for 18 months straight. But he's not a backstabber for leaving 2 minor children he kept secret to grow up without a dad as he chases more fame and power. Pathetic. Raise your kids." And then he said, this is his mom right here. And he said that this is my amazing mom who's had her name and image dragged through the media unwillingly. She refused to talk to any journalist after 18 months of stalking. I blew up after she was lied on multiple times. Shout out to every strong mother whose story goes untold. We love you. She wanted no part in this interview. Any interview clip of her was from 2008. She did that when my dad wanted her to do. She married my amazing stepdad and lives a quiet life. I'm so happy she can rest now and this bull crap is over with. So, I mean, we all know that Herschel is definitely an interesting character, but I do agree with him. I don't know why the Republicans chose Herschel. I mean, I said this earlier that, yeah, he was a football player and they assumed everybody loved him, but yeah. I have to agree with little Christian Walker here. I don't know if he may never run again. He may run in Texas. You never know. Yeah. Let's go to our next one. Let's go all the way down. Christian Walker is also another example of a kid that has been hurt by their fame of their parents. Let's go to the next one.
Dad's mistress has now messaged me 2 times on Facebook. We're not Facebook friends, but somehow she's messaged me 2 times on Facebook, both with very different messages. For context, my dad started dating this woman through Match.com while he was still married and living and with my mom. After my mom died, my dad kicked us out of the house and was able to live in that house with this new woman. I have never met her. I have no desire to ever meet her. The first time she messaged me was in January of 2021, which was about 6 months after my mom passed away and my dad kicked us out and moved her in. She messaged me saying like, hey, M, which is rude. That's what my family calls me, not you. Basically, she said, me and your dad broke up. Your dad needs to focus on fixing himself and fixing the relationship that he no longer has with you kids. I see the message, don't reply. That's really not my prerogative, I guess. And we just move on. I have been no contact with my dad since he kicked us out, but also a little bit before then, so just keep that in mind. So then in July of this year, I get another message from her. I'm like, oh God, here we go again. This message was a totally different tone. It sounded like her and my dad were back together, and she basically told me that my dad is on the brink of a mental breakdown or like a mental snap, and it's my fault since I don't talk to him. She also mentioned something about my mom, which really made me mad. Like, don't mention her, like you don't know her, right? And she's dead, like she has nothing to do with the scenario now. I was so taken aback though, like know your place. I've never met you. I don't talk to my dad. It's not my fault that I'm causing him like a mental snap, like definitely not me. But I have not heard from her since, and through some Facebook sleuthing, I did find out that they're engaged, so I guess things are going okay and he didn't have a mental snap. I don't know.
Anytime a person doesn't talk to their kids, male or female, I would never date them. So good luck to that woman that's getting into that marriage, because, yeah, when you don't talk to none of your kids, that's sketchy as heck.
Boy, do I have a story for y'all. Tea time. If your name Jennifer, you work at Chase Bank, you got a hood named Jerry in Houston. Let me tell you, Bob and Michael's at the bar talking about you like a dog. First of all, your husband Jerry cheating with a bitch named Sarah in the camp. Just want to let you know that before I start this story. Sarah got 2 kids, a little boy and a little girl. Guess who that little girl belong to? Your husband, bitch. Bob and Michael say, bitch, you the worst one in the goddamn facility. They say you need to turn your motherfucking badge in, cause bitch, you don't do but fuck the numbers up. Then they say your best friend Sam fucking your husband too. You need to leave his ass, cause he ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing at the crib, my girl. You need to go on, just let him out. But they say you ain't gonna let him go cause he make all that money, you know what I'm saying? They say you just dumb, just like he be out working all night. Said your husband the contractor good. They say you know your husband don't be out on tour at 1 o'clock in the morning doing no contract work. You just want to keep him around for them 3 kids that y'all got. Then they say you be coming up with this stinking ass white diamond on, smell like your grandma from back in the goddamn 70s. Say your husband say he don't even think, Jerry say he don't even think the damn kid belong to him, with the last 2 at least. He say he know the old ones here because he look like them. But he said them 2 little boys that you got, he said he don't think them his kids. But then again, they say shit, who would want you? Look at you. They say you just be kikiing and ha-ha with Sam ass not knowing she fucking your husband. Like, come on now. They say you letting the bitch Sarah with the pigtails in accounting fuck your husband. Say she look like Velma from Scooby-Doo. You need to get your shit together at home, goddammit. Shit. Got these folk down here talking about your ass. They say he's stepping out because your sticks wet. And they say you need to upgrade that old ass 3 Series BMW you got.
So if you're listening, if your husband's Jerry, he's been cheating and talking trash about you at the bar.
Whether or not you smoke or vape, tobacco or cannabis, you are severely impairing the function of endothelial cells that make up the capillaries and blood vessels of your brain and body. And that is known to decrease cognitive capacity over time, increase probability of strokes, severely impact lung function, and also lead to things like peripheral neuropathies. It leads to sexual dysfunction because of lack of blood flow to the genitals, can lead to other aspects of reproductive damage, including to the ovaries and testes. Essentially, there is no other way to state it except that smoking and vaping have negative health consequences that are independent of the substances that people are trying to get into their bloodstream by smoking or vaping. So people smoke and vape tobacco and people smoke and vape cannabis. And in both cases, if we just set aside the direct effects of tobacco and the direct effects of cannabis, we can confidently say that the process of smoking, of inhaling smoke into the lungs, and yes, also vaping, bringing the chemicals that transport nicotine, or in this case cannabis, into the lungs by way of vaping, are both severely detrimental to endothelial cells. I think a few years ago when vaping wasn't as prominent, there was this question and this idea that maybe vaping was going to be far healthier.
So if you're planning on having kids, I mean, not that vaping is good for you in any other aspect, but add that to the list of dangers.
Yeah, me and him had a little intercourse. It was an accident. I ain't even say it was an accident. I got drunk out my motherfucking mind. I was high the fuck up. Tweaking. Doing some shit I wasn't supposed to be doing. I came to my senses and I stopped. And that was the only gay nigga. The only one. Not none of you other niggas. Not none of that.
Ain't nothing happened with him. He just was saying yesterday like that he been in his inbox. Somebody said that he said that my boyfriend was in his inbox.
But don't
ain't nothing happened with him.
Don't sit up here and make it seem like I'm trying to fuck the whole gay community. Like what? Put some fucking respect on my name.
No, we know. We're not saying that. Move, y'all.
Like,
we about to get up like, cause the kids is just really doing too much.
Motherfuckers tripping like. Then right like that shit kind of made me mad a little bit. It's weird.
If it sounded like that video was chaotic, it was definitely one of the most chaotic videos. So these two was doing it live. They were looking down at the phone. Their babies, Tyler's, were over their head. That's why you hear babies in the background. Basically, the man is saying that he got drunk and had sex with the man, but he's not gay, because once he realized what he was doing, he stopped, and he was like, I guess somebody in a live said he was gay, and he was like, y'all act like I want the whole gay community when I just had one night. That video did not go how they wanted it to, and Lord, that was cray-cray. Let's go to the next one.
Hey, chosen ones, this had just dropped on my spirit, and it's only right that I share it with y'all. If you're in the season of isolation, right, you have to understand two things. One, our Heavenly Father loves you beyond words. And number two, whatever you're attached to, our Heavenly Father is isolating you to show you that, you don't need it. Whatever it is that you're suffering from, He doesn't want you to suffer from it no more. He wants you to get to that point within you where you understand that you never needed whatever Satan was giving to you or offering you. For example, with me, y'all know God loves using me as an example. I fell for the trap of women, addictions, money, and putting so many things in front of Him that I lost sight of who I truly was. I lost sight of my mission. I lost sight of Him. You get what I'm saying? And He had me go through the Job test and strip me from, I really want to say, 98% of the things that I had in order to rebuild me. And these are the things I want y'all to start thinking about. When God is rebuilding you, you're going to be isolated. That's just what it is. And you have to come to that realization that you never had a real one. You start thinking like, oh yeah, my moms, my pops, my siblings, they all had my back. No, they didn't. They didn't. And that's why you're in the season of isolation, because God is revealing the people that truly had your back. And you know what's crazy? Your day one ain't even your day one. God is your day one. God has been there from day one and prior to day one till now. And He's never going to leave your side. These are the things I need y'all to start understanding. Isolation ain't bad. You came in here isolated. But somewhere along this journey, somewhere along the years, you ended up attaching yourself to a darkness in which you were never supposed to be the magnet for. And these are the things I want y'all to start thinking about. God doesn't have intentions on breaking you. All He is he's remodeling you. Satan broke you. That's why your faith is diminished. That's why you don't trust people. That's why it's hard for you to love. That's why you lose your identity and gain it through the world with a job, a car, a crib, all stuff that disappears the moment that you get buried. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose sight of yourself. Your soul is not for sale. A lot of people, they put their soul on the stock market, and that's just not the way it's supposed to be. I want y'all to understand y'all have true power within you. But isolation is not a bad thing. It is to better you. It is to show you that demonic attachments are not normal. They're not of God. It's to show you that you have an inner light that you need to expose, and it starts in your home and getting your family right, getting your kids right, and having them know that they really have spiritual gifts out here. Remember, chosen ones, you're strong. You're not weak. You're a warrior. You're not a coward. Food for thought. Chosens. You're loved. You're valued. You're cherished. And you already know there's a spot waiting for you in heaven, beloved.
So I love that. I think that is so important to stress that sometimes when you're in isolation, like God is removing all the distractions and you can really just try to focus on you. And we lose ourselves in our jobs and our families and all the things that we have going on around us. And sometimes it's hard to get back to who you are. But I love that message so much. And I thought I need to share that because that's something that everybody goes through. Like, you know, sometimes some days you wake up and it's like all you do is work or do chores or, you know, and it's like when you are by yourself or alone, all you do is sleep or, you know, find something that you enjoy, you know, find something that is you. Get to know yourself better and use this time in isolation to get back to who you truly are. We lose ourselves so much in today's society, so I love that. Hopefully you guys got some value out of that. Of course, we got to get back into the chaos. Let's see here.
Just to think, if you're doing all the right things, almost the woman would initiate because, oh, she's so grateful. And, you know, I almost thought, like, if I wasn't being pursued, I wasn't attractive, or why isn't she jumping on me, kind of a thing.
Depends on your woman, of course. So, you know, you're a really masculine guy. The woman that's attracted to you is going to be very feminine. The more feminine she is, the more attracted to that part of you she is. As I get this all the time from men who are like, you know, my wife's really hot. She's so beautiful. And I feel like all the time I'm initiating sex, and she literally never does. Can you teach me how to get her to initiate sex? And the answer is, not if you want a good marriage. Not because she's not going to want to do that. Like, that's actually going to start to reduce the polarity in your relationship. Like, women love it when you're the hunter. They want to be the hunted. Now, of course, it's fun once in a while on your birthday when she plans big seduction. And it's super fun to have a woman, you know, so hot for you that, you know, she wants to seduce you. But the reality is that's a woman exhibiting her masculine behavior. There are women that'll do it, but don't like it. But they kind of know you want it, and they love you, and so they're going to do it once in a while. But every time they do it, you've made a cash withdrawal. The feeling is, she seduced you tonight. It was super fun. And then you had crazy good sex. She fell asleep in your arms with a big smile on her face. It was great. Why wouldn't she do it again? The answer is because she's feminine. She didn't like that first part, you know? It made her, just like it makes you feel less attractive that she never, ever initiates sex. And I get it. I mean, I'm not immune to it. But I have to remind myself that's the way it is. If you're really, I mean, I'm attracted to super feminine women. And they don't initiate sex. And the more masculine you are in the relationship, the better you get at this. Like, getting really good at this means she's going to initiate you less. It makes it worse. It actually makes it worse, but it makes your marriage better. And it makes the sex better. The one antidote I can offer is, I mean, you still have to initiate, but you initiate by telling her what you want her to do. So you want her to seduce you, you can say to her, listen, I want you to wear that sexy outfit tonight, and I'm just going to sit in a chair and have a drink, and you're going to dance sexy for me and get me turned on and seduce me. And she'll be like, oh, that sounds like fun. And, you know, in other words, like, you've done it, right? And then you can get it, but you've got to tell her to do it.
Got it.
And because you've told her to do it, you know, her sexual polarity is intact.
So this is an interesting conversation because I think, like, men and women, we definitely, we don't talk about or hear different purviews on sex. Like the podcast I did the other day on, like, how women feel about when they catch men masturbating versus how they catch when we see them. It's like, and I can get behind this because I do like a masculine man, and, you know, my husband is masculine, but I know that some men do feel sometimes like, oh, she's not initiating, she's not into me, and it's totally not that. We just do like the man to initiate. It doesn't mean that you're not attractive. It just means, like, you're good at being the male. I mean, yes, sometimes, yes, definitely you should at least participate in it, I would think. As long as she's participating in it, shouldn't that be good too? I mean, I think, like, yes, you can initiate sometimes, but I agree with this doctor. This is a licensed sexologist, man. So, yeah. Guys, don't get so busted up if she doesn't always initiate. It's okay. Let's get into another one.
Value men, they sleep with everyone that gives them attention. Low value women, they are impressed by every man that, hey, beautiful. High value women don't try to destroy empires because they're busy building or trying to establish their own. High value men, they are more focused on meeting the needs of people around them. They marvel in their ability to help people get the things that they want. You're not a high value man if you don't know how to press a bit. Why are you crying all the time? What you crying for? A high value man is not rich, but he's financially responsible. High value men, they take full responsibility for the condition of their lives. They don't compete with other people. They compete with themselves. They're not jealous and envious of people. They are trying to be better than they were last year. We hate men that cap. Oh, I got this, and I'm talking to this person, and I got this business deal. You're capping. High value people, they're extremely authentic. That's high value.
And that's what he said.
You're an X-Men, right? You know who my favorite X-Man is? Caitlyn Jenner. And by the way, that's not an offensive joke. I'm honestly under the impression that she was in the X-Men movies.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
What? Nicole Kidman's father was allegedly linked to an international pedophilia cult. I thought her silence on this has been so bizarre because she was one of the main faces of this Balenciaga Gate campaign. And she still has it on her Instagram supporting. But her own father was said to have participated in an elite pedophile ring. Anthony Kidman was a clinical psychologist in Sydney, and he had passed away unexpectedly in 2014. And at the time of his death, a victim did come forward named Fiona Barnett. This is Fiona's statement on it. The main perpetrator of my abuse, Anthony Kidman, is dead after I filed complaints accusing him of rape, torture, and murder of children in an exclusive Sydney pedophile ring. As a child victim of mind control, I feel he's been sacrificed for failing to adequately program me. She did file complaints with the police department. Surprise, surprise, they went unheard. But they were supposed to look into his involvement in this Ninth Circle satanic child sacrifice cult. Every single thing about this keeps getting worse and worse.
I mean, this Balenciaga thing, and people aren't going, I just went to Nicole Kidman's Instagram and people are still on her to speak out. Yeah. Dark.
You know it, and I know it. Joe doesn't know he's alive. Because Biden doesn't know he's alive. Biden doesn't know, he doesn't know he's alive. Joe doesn't know he's alive. Now, I have to tell you, he's a different guy. He looks different than he used to. He acts different than he used to. He's even slower than he used to be. So I don't know, but I call him 1% Joe. Joe Biden is a dummy. It's not him. He's a puppet. He is.
I think this is funny because this feeds the QAnon theories, but you also have people saying that there's two Trumps. There's red tie Trump and blue tie Trump. Hollywood and Hollywood and famous people are creepy, but I just thought that was so funny. But I will always say that Joe Biden riding that bike and stopping and falling was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Like, it literally was like he was a robot. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go.
Again, I'm no genius, but I'm just putting two to two together because CBS just announced this morning. Let's hear this second part he talk about.
Summer of 2013, an unknown group of individuals attacked the San Jose Metcalf Transformer substation and in under 18 minutes took out 17 transformers with expertly placed shots from AK-47 rifles. No fingerprints on the shell casings. They cut the communication line, and they disappeared less than 60 seconds before police arrived on the scene. We don't know who they are. Now, that substation wasn't a critical one.
But if someone were to attack one, or God forbid, 9 of the critical ones, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
So once again on that substation power stuff, and like I mentioned earlier, they have been attacked like a lot. So I don't know. It's getting noticed, and hopefully the government is doing something about it. Because if they do attack the critical ones, we're all in big trouble. Let's go to the next one.
I didn't feel like myself a lot until I met you. And when I met you and I hung with you, I'm like, whoa, I'm not thinking a lot. I'm not worrying. I'm not on guard a lot. And I started feeling safe. The sense of safety and love, honestly. I felt the God in you, and I told you that even when I was a teenager. Like, I can tell God is loving me through you. Wow. I can tell God sent you to me, and he's in there loving me through you. Wow. And I'm not trying to be deep now. I said that when I was 17. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I knew. I said, this must be God. It gotta be him. He's the one. Because I felt the peace of God and the love of God through you. So that's how I knew.
So that is Ty Tribbett. His wife, he's a gospel singer, but his wife is was saying she was professing her love for him, which is so sweet. Let's do one more.
Our puppy went in her purse and retrieved a pair of dirty panties. Girlfriend swears she's not cheating, and most women put their panties in their purse after a night of clubbing. Is this true advice? Absolutely not, sir. I have never clubbed so hard that I wanted to put my panties in my purse. She was getting them drawers smoked. Somebody was glazing them yams. Somebody was digging in them guts. And then your puppy smelled the doodoo marks from the purse. And then retrieved them dirty ass drawers.
So I'm gonna reread this because it was funny. But this guy, I guess it was a Reddit post or whatever, but he said that his girlfriend of 3 years came home after her girls' night out, and their puppy went in her purse and retrieved a pair of dirty panties. Girlfriend swears she's not cheating, and most women put their panties in their purse after a night of clubbing. Is this true? No, dude. Like, why wouldn't you just come home and take a shower? Like, you should after a night of clubbing, period. But no, dude, I'm sorry. You didn't need to ask Reddit that, but no. No. Sorry, bud. That is it for tonight, guys. I've had fun chatting with you per usual. Tomorrow will be our final one for the week. And then you guys will have an amazing weekend, hopefully, and get closer to who you truly are at your core. That's what I'm praying, that we all can find the joy of who we are at our core. But yeah, that is all I have. F is for Family is signing off. Have an awesome, awesome day.